Hey, shh. Welcome back to Fortune Cookies. Thanks for stopping by. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're a repeat offender, thank you so much for coming back and supporting my channel. So what we're going to look at today, there are a couple stories that just don't stop giving. The Johnny Depp and Amber Heard saga, because that is now in appeal and going all over the place. The never-ending Brad and Angelina disputes, and also the Britney Spears thing. So I have some very definite opinions about what's going on with Britney. I think she needs a little bit of better leadership in there. I think she needs some better management. She definitely needs some better handling. I don't think the conservatorship was a good idea, and it may have been too restrictive and too limiting. But at the same time, this unbound freedom does not seem to be doing very well for her. Instagram, I'm seeing a lot of nudity, and I'm not prudish, but I think there's some level of decorum that you do have to abide by as an adult. I think that is always a good idea. There is an understanding from some of my friends that are in law enforcement that, nudity, if somebody's running around nude, if they're exhibitionist, to be sure, most of the time they don't look like Britney Spears. There is some kind of mental health thing going on. Now, I am not a mental health professional. I am not diagnosing anyone or suggesting anything. I'm just saying that a little bit more decorum may be in order on the Instagram. That being said, what has been released in the last few days is Britney had shared some screenshots of mental health issues that she had discussed with her mother, that she was texting back and forth with her mother. And apparently she redacted, or Lynn is advising that she had redacted some of Lynn's responses on them. So I think we should take a look at that and see what is going on with mother and daughter. And Lynn said something very telling, and I think I do have it right here. She said, "I hurt for you that you feel the people who love you the most betrayed you. Let me come to you. I love you." So that is very sad. You can look up the screenshots. So let's take a look. Let's see, how that relationship is doing, what the reality is with the two sides of this story. My blocking is still not terrific. I am confident that all of you understand my limitations as an IT specialist. So we've got our selenite there at the top of the screen. So let's see. Did Britney redact the text messages before posting them? Did Britney redact those text messages before posting them? Did Britney redact the text messages before posting them? Let's see. Oh my. This little guy creates some issues when we talk about redacting or lying or not telling the truth. So the King of Swords really is someone who is in charge of all in his world, his words, his morals. He is going to talk about what is truthful and what is just and what is right. So when we have that here, and we've got that Page of Wands who's tinkering with stuff, he's doing stuff. Our Page of Wands is a doer. that suggests that maybe we do have some creative creative action here. So I don't think she thought that she would be called out publicly on this, and now she's a little freaked out and she doesn't know how to move forward. Feels here, even though the Hierophant is a community card reaching out to others, she may be reaching out to friends, but I do feel that there's more of a professional legal response that she's looking for in this circumstance. She really is trying to get someone to advise her, like, how do I cope with this? How do I cope with this? So how will she cope with this? She doesn't know what way to go. She's trying, she's like scrabbling up a hill right now. She doesn't know what way to go. She doesn't know how to proceed. She doesn't know how to recreate that foundation. You know, let's see. Does she even want a relationship with her mother? Like, that's very upsetting. My face has been itchy all day. I don't have my Invisalign in, so I'm like, I lisp when I have them in. I lisp when I have them out. I don't know what's going on in my mouth at this point. So, does Britney want a relationship with Lynn? Does she want a relationship with Lynn? No, she wants to walk away. She wants to start anew. She's got a lot of feelings. So her feeling is that she supported all of them. She does not give Lynn or her father credit for managing anything. She's just like, I am the talent. She's very close-minded about herself being the talent right now. She's not anything that they had their hand involved in, as far as she's concerned, got convoluted, got sullied, dirtied, not good. Just really created more of I don't want to say the A word, but a taking advantage of her. That's really how she feels about it. She feels that she was taken advantage of and manipulated at a very young age and into her adulthood. She feels like they kept her from maturing and from turning into a more productive adult. So, and I don't mean productive in terms of work. I mean functional as an adult. Okay, she's, and there's something to be said about celebrities. So celebrities don't really have to function as adults. If they are given, and we see this all the time, if they are given a modicum of success when they are younger, the expectation, if that success continues, the expectation of their behavior can be very, very different, very skewed from what you and I, as regular plebeians, have to do. They can, trash a hotel room. They just sign a check. They can crash a car, and they just sign a check. There are some more high profile circumstances. We have Vince Neil when he had crashed the car and killed his best friend. There is a different expectation of functional adulthood for celebrities. They really don't have to learn how to write checks and all that kind of stuff that you and I have to. So she really doesn't want her mother there, and she has a lot of feelings about them preventing her from growing up. There's a lot of missing pieces. No pun intended, for Piece of Me, her song and album. There's a lot of missing pieces of Britney, and she puts the blame squarely on her parents. I think she puts a lot of the blame on Lynn, which is curious in and of itself, because it feels like her father was much more of a power broker. So the shadiness that Britney has demonstrated is going to come out, and the heartbreak that her family is feeling, and seeing that she is emotionally reckless. Let's call it emotionally reckless. She's emotionally reckless toward them, and she's kind of casting things out. It's very similar to Prince Harry. Like, I'm gonna throw a temper tantrum, and yet again, another emotionally reckless person who has a different level of expectation for adult functionality because of the accident of his birth. But um, there is this, just, it's a devastating blow. They can't believe that, like, she just will not listen to reason. She's just completely closed off. Their concern is that she is going to crash and burn financially, personally, mentally, emotionally, and then they're going to have to go back in and pick up the pieces, but she still won't allow them to. That is really a concern here. And the long-term outcome is that she's really going to stick with this closed off relationship to them. She really does not want to continue the relationship, specifically with her mother. So that is very unfortunate and very sad. Very adamantly against involving herself. So let's take a look at Lynn. Let's see. Lynn's intentions all along. Let's take a nice big drink. Oh, she's got a lot of regrets. There's a lot of regrets here. If she could go back in time, if Lynn could go back in time, she would not have done things the same. There's a great deal of anxiety and being held. It's almost like now, in retrospect, Lynn looks back and says, well, there was a point when I just realized it was all too much, and it was too late. That boulder was just rolling down the hill, and there wasn't anything we could do to stop it. It was, and I talk about this all the time, the person of Britney Spears and the machine that is Britney Spears, that operation, that business, that corporation of Britney Spears, which unfortunately there is a real person in the middle of all of it. There was a point where they just, that was it. Like, there was no stopping her, no stopping that. And there was a point where Lynn realized that. So here we go, jump out card. She wants the opportunity to tell Britney that she is sorry, and that she, had that epiphany moment, but it was too late. And I think if they do, there's going to be a common thread there. She does not feel like a great mother. And, one of the things that Britney is happy, like, okay, yeah, you weren't a great mom, admit it. She wants that to come out. She wants that to be the assertion from her mother. Yes, I was a terrible mother. And no mom wants to say that. No mom wants to say, oh, I was a shitty mom. Oh, I cursed. Sorry. Don't like to curse on my show. But it's really, it's unfortunate. We also have that strength card here. So we do have Lynn praying for strength, praying that there's going to be some tempering of Britney's assertion, consternation. Is it consternation the word that I'm looking for? She wants to see a tempering of Britney's conviction to not pursuing any further relationship with her mother. So she's willing to bide her time. Is that a good idea? Let's see. Is that a good idea? She's got to give her some space. Give her a little bit of space, because when they do, if they do reconnect and get back together, they will need to raise the building. They need to flatten it out. The entire relationship needs to be razed to the ground, burned, stomped, and start all over again. They got to build a new foundation. They have to build that new house together. So that is really what I see about that. It's a very, very difficult relationship at this time because there is no communication. Like sometimes communication is like a stick in the mud. Sometimes it's like walking through syrup. This is like concrete that's set. You know, Britney just does not want to move forward with the relationship. She really wants to make her own decisions. Doesn't seem like she's really doing a great job at it, just my opinion. What can they do to work together? What can they do to work together? First thing we're going to see is burn those bridges. Build the bridges, not burn them. They're already burnt. Building bridges. What do they have to do? What do they need to do? So they need to move forward from the secrets. Okay, Britney's got to stop with the supposition, and Lynn has to hear Britney's truth, because when we have volatile and emotional situations like this, there's going to be a couple of different perspectives of it, and that it could be as many perspectives as people that are involved. That's psychology 101. 101? I don't know, it might be 103, but nonetheless. So Britney has to stop with the suppositions, the presumptuous. Well, they were intending to do this because really the intention of the parents was not to exploit the child, not to ruin her life, but to flex her talents. It was far too great of talent to just let die on the windowsill. So Lynn needs to not pursue it for now. She needs to just kind of sit and wait. Future is bleak right now. She has to wait for the turning of the page. For right now, she has to know that Britney is okay. She's okay. She has moments where she is looking back and evaluating the things that she said, the things that she's done. She does have some support in play that are going to keep her safe. So that's encouraging. The money thing, yes, be worried about the money thing. It doesn't look like she's got a head for money. It doesn't look like she's going to be really smart with her money. I don't think that Sam does either, but she's just got to deal with that. That it's unfortunate, and I think that was a lot of the conservatorship. I think they really did want to manage that money for her so she wasn't spending, and being one of those Hollywood stories where all of a sudden you're living in a hotel. So that being said, that looks pretty good. They just have to sit and wait for a little bit longer. I'm going to keep reading on this as things develop over the next week or two. So thank you so much for watching. Again, this crazy mouse. I got this mouse from Amazon, and it goes to sleep, and I can't figure out how to turn it back on other than flipping it on and off. So let's get rid of my cards. And thank you all once again for coming by, for supporting my channel. If you would like your own magical reading, there is a link in the description below where you can book a magical reading with me, either in person by Zoom, or you can even get a video reading. I have a lot of clients that are out of the United States and they can't book a live reading with me. So they choose to get video readings. Easy enough. So I don't talk about that enough because I have a lot of people from like New Zealand and England and Scotland that say, hey, I want to get a reading, but we're on different time zones. I can't find a time that works. I'm like, do a video, do a recorded reading. Totally easy. I can do that too. So with that, everybody have a great day. Thanks so much for being here and have a great day.